Roxo Media House.
I can just start?
Yeah.
Witajmy na podcaście FORTitude.
Excellent. That is the voice of one Denis Linnik.
Linnik.
Linnik. See, I keep messing it up.
Yeah.
Linnik, like the air conditioning machines.
Welcome to FORTitude,
This one,
Denis Linnik. This is the Cliburn Series. We are FORTitude, Brenton Payne, J.W. Wilson, brought to you by Captex Bank, a bank that's local and great, but you probably never heard of, I'm guessing, from where you come from. You're 26 years old, from Belarus, beautiful Belarus, and you've been here for the Van Cliburn competition.
Right.
Heard you play. It was magnificent. So welcome to the show, my friend. Tell us how music and piano specifically came into your life and what age.
So first of all, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for the question. I was 6 years old when my mother brought me to a local musical school, so nobody actually asked me because I was just a small, stupid kid. And that's how I was in a musical school. So I started playing piano. We didn't have an instrument at home. So I would touch the instrument only in the school when I have lessons. And it was going well, apparently, because 1-2 years later, I was kind of noticed by a honored teacher of Belarus, and she invited me to study in her class in Minsk. Initially I'm not from Minsk. I'm from a small town 70 kilometers from Minsk.
What's the name?
Marina Gorka. That's my hometown.
They get it. What is your town known for? Anything? Did they produce anything or any?
So they make really good ice cream.
Oh, really?
And bread and chips.
They got a bunch of cows or something, or is it like dairy farms?
Never saw a cow there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
ice cream, bread, and chips. Perfect.
Yes, it's called Gosha ice cream.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was invited to study in a class of honored piano teacher of Belarus, Sergeyevskaya Tatiana Yurievna.
Mm-hmm.
She was teaching in Minsk, so I had to move to Minsk to study in her class. So since I was 8 years old, I was living in Minsk, kind of far from my family.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a dormitory for kids with women who were supposed to take care of us instead of our parents. And since I was 8 years old, I would go home once a week for a weekend. So since then, I was surrounded just by music all the time.
Did you enjoy these times, or was they pushing you hard? Was it something you loved?
Oh, they were pushing hard because when I was 9 years old, I think it was the busiest time of my life.
Really?
Because we had all the subjects combined.
Mm-hmm.
And, so we would have all the languages, literatures, math, physics combined with solfege, theory of music, piano lessons. So I would start at 8 and end the day at 6 in the evening with no breaks, and then you have to practice. And that was my 9 years old.
Golly.
How many hours a day practice?
Yeah, that's another story. Luckily enough, I was pretty talented for a kid, so the stuff for kids was going pretty easy for me, so I didn't have to practice much.
Yeah.
We had some hours that were supposed to be our practicing hours. They were written in the schedule. They were called, practicing hours. Like hours of music, something like that.
Yeah.
But I was doing everything in order to avoid practicing, actually. So, because I was still a kid, right?
Like most kids, I think, right?
Yeah. So, I was playing football. Here I call it soccer, but it's a football. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay, Dennis. We're okay. We understand.
Yeah. So we were playing. I don't know how you call it here. Things you would hit on something. They would flip.
Oh.
It's for kids. I don't know.
Oh yeah, like where it goes down on the ground and it bounces up.
Yeah, kind of. And if it flips, if it makes a turn, then you win. If
we do that with wine corks, but I don't think that's the same
quarters.
game.
Yeah,
I think it's called quarters. Is a drinking game.
I guess it's not this one because we were still
okay.
You're still little.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so even with the musical instruments, we would do whatever just in order to avoid practicing. For example, when I was a kid, other kids would come to my room and I would improvise some nonsense kind of inventing some story, some strange story. Kids would love it and laugh about it.
Yeah.
So this kind of stuff.
Well, so do you think that, when you said that you were able to not practice as much because you had the talent to do so, and you didn't say it that way. I mean, I'm kind of putting that. You're not bragging, so don't take. But do you think that was because of your ear? You could hear it differently, or you were able to almost have a memorization, like a photographic memory, where you could do that out?
Not this one. So first of all, I'm lucky to have how you call it here, absolute pitch, which helps a lot when you're a kid.
Yeah.
So for example, all the theory lessons or solfege where they try to distinguish the intervals, or they learn how to get what note it is, and they invent some ways to compare, to relate. I just hear the note, so
I could say a note right now. I could just hum a note, and you would know what note it is.
Yeah. It's a bad G. Then drop into.
That was bad. I was thinking the same thing. That's just a bad.
Well, but
G.
I want people at home who watch to get out their little whatever the app is and just see that it would be a G like that.
But that was a very stressful moment, because normally if something is out of tune, a beat. So like for example, a note is an A is 440. Let's say 440 hertz, and if it's 437, for example. Then I'm lost.
Oh, seriously?
I can call it B flat, D, whatever.
Oh, no kidding! It's got to be at 440 perfect pitch.
No, I'm trying to develop in this direction, because also, when you try to play old instruments, like historical instruments, they have all kinds of tuning.
Yeah.
So you really have to learn how to relate. So I moved to Basel, to Hochschule für Musik, and they have these theory music lessons, where they would ask one by one students to sing something, and then some of them obviously would be out of tune, but that's not the point. So I would be super stressed, and I say, no, that's the wrong note. This is the wrong. And she says, I don't care. Build a fifth from this note.
Oh, wow.
And it would kill me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
Dennis, so in 2017 you moved to Switzerland, right?
Right.
And then and from there you continued your education, you're performing. You released a CD on the classical label KNS in 2022. So this year you have a CD come out. You're a soloist, a recitalist, a chamber collaborator, lots of things. Does this sound all correct?
Yeah, it sounds cool.
You do.
Actually.
Yes, it sounds very
big
cool.
Big time, huh?
You've played around the world, I take it, right? Where are some places that you've
more around Europe, I would say.
Europe. Where are some places that have made an impact on you that you've enjoyed?
Actually, I loved playing in every country. It's always a very different experience. So from recent kind of insights, I played a concert in France, in a small town. I don't even remember how it's called. La Grande Motte, I think.
Yeah.
And so it's a small touristic town, but so there was a concert, and there was a quite huge for Europe hall with very nice lights, with lots of public coming to the concert, and with a very nice new Fazioli grand piano. And it was fascinating to see the difference between.
Forgive that ice noise from my partner drinking.
It's all right.
Sorry, I'm very thirsty.
It's
the dust that you guys all brought when you came in for the competition. No, just kidding.
Or for my age. Yeah. So it's always fascinating to see the differences.
Surely.
In different countries, how they treat concerts. Also states, obviously, it's so different here.
Yeah.
Right? So about France and Switzerland, that in France, maybe they do less concerts than in Switzerland, because in Switzerland you can play in every salon, every second house can have a house concert. So you would play for 15 people, for 40, 100. It's all great. In France, if they do a concert, they do it like for at least 300, 400 people. Serious
deal.
Yeah. So that's nice.
What about America? What's your experience here? I mean, did Americans like, oh, that's great, guys playing a piano, keep moving, or is it that? Where does it fit in that?
Actually, so why it was super stressful for me to play the first round here, because it was my first time performing in the States. So the whole experience of me performing in the States is from the Cliburn. And I guess Cliburn is kind of a very a very, very good example of what classical music is, not only in the States, but in Europe, right? So people are really excited more than they normally are.
Yeah.
The pianos are better than they normally are. The halls are incredible. So for me, coming from Switzerland, which is a small country, has such a beautiful variety of everything, languages, cultures, even religions, in such small territory. They also have smaller everything, so smaller halls. And so when I saw the TCU hall where we played first 2 rounds, I thought it's huge. It's huge, beautiful, inspiring, but like these balcons from both sides.
Intimidating.
So Van Cliburn Hall
Also-
made an impression on you for sure. You enjoyed it very much?
TCU.
Yes.
I loved it.
But
I
it's
loved it,
intimidating. It's scary.
I was expecting it to be scary for me when I was on the stage, but that's good news for me because I was actually very inspired playing there
Oh, good.
by the size, because also there are differences. There can be a small chamber music hall where you can actually see the eyes of everyone in the public, so you feel responsible for delivering to each of them. And in this kind of hall, so I saw only my host because he was very closely sitting always in TCU. And then I have no idea who is in the hall and how are their faces, if they're excited or bored, whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel this pressure, and I felt inspired.
Good. Dennis, who were your hosts for the week time you're here?
So there was one guy. His name is Matt Lonergan.
How good
He's
experience?
Fabulous. He's just an amazing guy, and he was doing all his best to make me actually feeling comfortable and happy here.
Good.
And he invested all his time and thoughts for me.
Barbecue and Tex-Mex? Same?
So we
Or
had
different?
We had lots of stuff.
Yeah.
We had also some barbecue, but he brought it to the house, so I don't know where from.
Yep.
But it was very, very good.
Any
good.
any favorite foods you've had here or favorite experiences aside from the competition?
So the barbecue was really good.
Yeah.
Um,
We heard there was a borscht dish at the Wilson house that was filled
didn't
with
know
beef.
about that.
Yeah.
No.
We didn't have any left.
Borscht?
Borscht. Oh, it's good.
It's good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was lovely. But you've had some other experiences outside the competition, you said?
Oh, too many. We went to Austin to the jazz club, Patrick Jazz Club. Very, very, very nice. Very fancy, very nicely done. Also sound-wise and picture. So
Did they show you 6th Street, I assume?
Oh, sure.
Oh,
I mean,
Lord.
yeah.
I'm glad you made
And
it
that-
back safe.
That was Friday evening.
Oh, yeah.
So loud.
Yeah.
But nice experience.
What about your knees? I see some injuries on your legs. Where did you get those?
Now you can also see some of them on my hands.
From the coveted hands. Yes. And,
Yeah,
and what was
both
that
hands.
experience?
That was my second attempt to, to ride the mechanical bull.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Do tell.
I was really good at that. I think so.
50 seconds is what you said?
I think the first one was 50 seconds. First time I went there, and some people just told me on my way to the bull
Yeah.
that normally the guys do it with one hand, with another hand to kind of balance.
Yeah.
So that's what I did for the first time. And then I realized while doing that it doesn't really help. So it's just for showing off, apparently.
Just waving your friends.
Yeah, and at some point, because of that, I moved too close towards the head, so it was not really convenient. So I decided to fall down. Then I felt disappointed because I could have done it better. So
you don't
I said,
say.
okay, guys, I need to do it for the second time. Because I knew that with two hands it would be more
Was this
convenient.
at Billy Bob's by chance?
No, Stockyard.
No, in the
it was
North
outside.
Side somewhere.
And you sure Matt had your best interest at heart? Because that doesn't sound like something I would have a performer be doing. That sounds like a dangerous activity. We've
No,
lived here our
wait.
whole lives.
So
We've never
first-
ridden a mechanical bull, I don't think. You
You-
come
you
here
should-
for
you
3
should go
weeks
there.
and
I have a video I can show you.
you have a connection to one.
So I was already out of the competition,
Okay.
so why
So the
why not
second
doing that?
time,
The
you're
second
gonna-
time I felt super motivated to do longer and better.
Yeah.
And I looked confident because I knew now I'm gonna look
Yes.
now I'm gonna use two hands. So I sat down on the bull and the guy pulled the full speed. I guess
Classic
Yeah.
move. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I didn't know this bull has different speeds. So that the second one is this one.
Yeah.
It was quite crazy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I wanted to fall really early, but I didn't want to fall with my head over the horns. Of
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
bull. So,
Right. We're gonna be careful.
So I had to hold on it a bit longer in order to find a better opportunity to fall.
Can we share this video of you riding the bull? That'd be lovely.
Sure.
Are you comfortable enough to let people see this?
Sure. You mean now?
No, we'll do it on
yeah,
the show
yeah,
for sure.
Okay, wait. I hold on this. You will tell me what to do, right? Wait. Wait, so what do I do? More. What hand? What?
Head goes down.
What?
There you go. Raise your leg. When the head goes down, lean back. Now hold on tight. You almost hold the head goes down. Lean back.
I lean back, man.
Lean
Okay.
back. Ready?
Okay.
Lean back. There you go. Keep your feet forward. Keep your feet forward. There you go.
Get him, dude. I'm fucking tired.
And we're going to get a chiropractor, which is a back doctor here in the States, as a new sponsor, I think, as a result of your bull riding. So thank you, Dennis.
You're going to play a piece for us for about 5 minutes or less. What piece are we playing?
So it's gonna be Johannes Brahms Intermezzo number 2 in A major.
Lovely.
Yeah, many
440,
boring
right?
words.
A major 440. You can't go off the Hertz.
I don't know
upper
what's that in States. So
No,
in
it's the
Germany
same.
it's 440.
It's they like Hertz, but he had to get the piano tuned, so it's a good thing that he didn't. He did, because if he didn't, you might get lost in there.
What languages do you speak, Dennis?
So Belarusian, Russian, English, German.
German, beautiful. What's the difference between Belarusian and Russian?
What's the difference?
Yes, if you mind me asking. Is
Well,
it
it's
significant
different
difference?
languages. Yeah.
Right.
Totally, it's like not just a dialect, not just kind of a.
No, like even so. For example, Italians, they can understand Spanish people
Yes.
more than 50%.
Yeah.
So I would say the Russians, they would understand Belarusian for 50%.
Mhm.
Okay.
But
You can
some
get
other
by.
words, no chance.
Yeah.
And there's a table with some words which are pretty close between Belarus, Poland, Slovenia, Czech,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then in Russian, it's super different. So
You know, a guy pointed that out to me in Spanish, because he's like saying, "You like tires?" And I was like, "No, I mean, I got tires on the car." But then he referred it to tired, being tired, like sleepy, like we are here. I mean, they have no meaning. The same, it's just crazy. It's like same thing.
Dennis,
I think just some words they just wouldn't have any idea.
Yeah.
What it
Yeah.
is.
thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
We're grateful for your time. Before we go, in your whole life, do you have a best day of your whole life you could share with us? It's a tough question. We ask our guests that question typically.
It's a tough question.
Not when you were 9 years old, doing all those studies and things like that.
Actually, when I was 9 years old, that was my first time in the States, and I spent 45 days in the States in Florida, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so we went to Disneyland and lots of stuff. But I think the really fascinating one was when we were on the boat next to Miami, and we were diving
Yeah.
with the things.
Yeah.
So-
Scuba diving.
diving.
Yeah.
What?
Did you go scuba diving?
I don't know how it's called.
Or
Yeah. With the
snorkeling?
tank. With the tank.
Yeah,
with the tank.
scuba diving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
and I think
nice.
there were some how do you call it, reefs, coral reefs. Is there?
Mhm.
Is there a
Sounds like
chance-
you had some good training to do this. Usually people train for this, but that's okay.
So there was some guy who would rescue
Taking
me.
care of you, okay.
Yeah, and then I saw many beautiful fish.
Yeah.
And corals. It was amazing for a kid.
I would say so.
That's awesome.
How can people find you, Dennis, online?
So I have a webpage, denislinnik.com, or Instagram if you want to check my photos
Beautiful.
from 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And the YouTube channel, also just write Denis Linnik.
Okay.
Denis Linnik, thank you very much for joining us on FORTitude. Thank you, Captex Bank, the Cliburn Series. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Dennis.
Great job.